We're here now discussing the various serious conflicts we have all over the world now. Everyone talking about the credit crunch and how people actually have lost a lot of money in their misfortunes because some of the people in the high banking sector have used their money, and now we have to inject money back into the banks to help them out. But the main man who has confronted that kind of problem about 40 years ago can give us some direct answers about the whole situation. So I'll pass you over to the main man, Adolf Kingston. He is the most economic advisor to the Deutsche Reich in solving these kind of problems. Hi there, Adolf Kingston. As you know, we have this kind of problems with the economic crunch, and what kind of advice do you give us to the normal white person?
To the normal white person? It's a very general question you asked me. But first of all, thank you for your invitation to appear on your program. But basically, the situation in the Western economy at the moment is because of pure greed and corruption on these financial institutions.
So why do you think that corruption we have? Do you think are the Jews to blame or the Muslims to blame?
Without putting me on a spot, I refer you to certain examples. The certain investment banks, Wall Street banks, i.e. Goldman Sachs, the main shareholders of Goldman Sachs, and from the film studios, the financiers.
So do you think because they're all Jews, or they're just out for the money?
It is not a problem, a question of race or racial hatred. It is just pure greed and hypocrisy and thievery.
And how would you deal with this current situation? Because lots of banks now, they invest lots of money into the economy, give money back to the banks. And they have robbed us before of that kind of situation, you know. How would you deal with this if you would be, again, fully in charge of the Reich?
I would not encourage such blasé investment in the film industry, the banking industry, industrialism. Certain people have been given too much leeway and have gone too far. And the liberty of the common man, of the taxpayer. They take the law into their own hands.
But people say because you're a bit racist, and do you think you're very racist and you blame the Jews for all the money taken away from us?
Stop! I'm not racist. Taking money from who? I believe it's equal for everybody. But there are certain breeds, certain groups in society that I use English terms, that fucking take the place.
And how would you deal with this situation to get rid of these evil seeds?
Well, measures must be taken.
And what kind of measures would you actually employ to combat that current situation? Do you think it's right for people to take money away from the whites?
In this society, it revolves around the pound note, the Deutschmark, the shekel, the money. They love the money, huh? But there is more to civilized society than touching the material wealth.
So the whole situation we're talking about is because, as we are totally aware, the banks are controlled by the Jews. So how do you feel about this?
The banks are controlled by the Jews. There are many things controlled by the Jews. There are many other threats besides the Jews.
But you
are right in your question saying that there are a threat, and yes, I do agree with you. I agree fully.
Because in your time, you know, I mean, you burned about 9 million, but now they have quadrupled again, and they take control of the whole economic society of the world, and they take money away from anyone else except from the Jews. So how can we combat that situation? Because they're shuffling in their own pockets. Do you think we should reform the Deutsche Reich again and start burning these kikes? Or we should use them to our own advantage?
That is a very, very good question. You may give me time to think, not for my wording, but as a politician and an economist, and also as a family man who is concerned with the well-being of my future generations, there should be a certain clampdown for the liberty-taking parasite. Poof! Cunt!
So what do you think about the current situation with Obama might winning the election to become the first black president of the United States? How do you feel about this?
Well, I feel quite strongly because I have to a certain extent bankrolled him to wrestle control away from the whites. The whites